Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Friday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking some hot and humid weather that will be with us throughout the entire weekend. And that includes the Boilermaker on Sunday, which looks like it could be one of the hottest Boilermakers ever. We'll get to that in just a second. But as far as current conditions are concerned right now in downtown Utica, it's fairly warm out there right now. 86 degrees, dew point is 66, and that's where it's been generally over the last couple of days, and that's not going down anytime soon. In fact, it might come up as we head through the weekend into next week. I'll talk more about that in a second. Winds out of the west at 8 miles an hour, and because of that high dew point, it feels like 88. Other numbers from around the region, we have a couple of upper 70s, like Old Forge at 78, Norwich at 79, but the rest of us are into the 80s. And in fact, you go to the west of Syracuse, and Seneca Falls is at 92 right now. We'll be closer, a little bit closer to that as we head into the weekend. But as far as the radar is concerned right now, it's dry for most of us, other than a couple of spots in Herkimer County and between Cooperstown and Oneonta in Otsego County. But for most of us, it will remain dry during the overnight hours. Also got a little bit of rain building into the Chicago area right now, into portions of Michigan right now. And some of that will try to swing our way, as well as this area of moisture down toward Pennsylvania over the weekend. And so although Saturday won't be completely dry, it also won't completely be a washout. Just be mindful that there is an isolated thunderstorm chance out there. Tonight will be between 65 and 70 with winds out of the south for most of us. And if you're planning on a pool day tomorrow, I would go for it, although just keep an eye to the sky, especially during the afternoon when we do have that isolated thunderstorm threat. Otherwise, it will be hot and humid with those isolated storm chances and high temperatures either side of 90 degrees for most of us here in the valley. A little bit cooler down toward the north and down toward the south as well, up in elevation. Regardless of where you are, though, tomorrow it is going to feel much warmer than that because of the humidity, especially in Oneida, portions of Madison and Otsego counties. Wouldn't be surprised if there were to be a heat advisory posted there for heat index values between 95 and as high as 100 degrees. So there we go. There's a few clouds during the overnight hours, maybe a spotty shower or two, and that continues during the day tomorrow. I think it's a little bit overdone in that particular model. Most of the rain holds off until Saturday, or until Sunday afternoon, I should say, which is good news for those of you that are spectating or running in the Boilermaker, although it does come with the threat for a few of those storms becoming strong to severe. Certainly something I'll be keeping an eye on here over the next couple of days. The dew points aren't going anywhere anytime soon, and neither are the rain chances. They're fairly low next week, but that changes as we head into, or they're fairly low, I should say, for the start of next week, but toward the middle and end, they come up once again with temperatures in the 80s, making a run at 90 several times next week with a mix of sun and clouds.
Now, Jordan, for the Sunday Boilermaker, what do you think our runners could expect to see in terms of morning temperatures?
In terms of morning temperatures, the temperatures themselves will be into the 70s, but with those high dew point values into the 60s and around 70, it's definitely going to feel like around 75 to 85 degrees, even at 8 to 10 a.m. when the race starts.
Well, make sure if you're running, stop at the water stations. You're going to need it. Still to come on Eyewitness News at 6, the man accused of shooting a gun inside Sangertown Square Mall was back in court.
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Friday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking the all-important weekend forecast, which not only includes the Boilermaker, but so many outdoor events. And it looks like the good news is that while Saturday is dry, Sunday is not looking like that, although it is going to be warm and humid both days. So let's get right to it. Let's take a live look right now at downtown Utica, where it's dry out there right now. We also have a calm wind. That dew point, as it has been over the last couple of days, is hovering in the upper 60s. And that's definitely not going to go down over the next couple of days, as we'll show you here in just a minute or two. It's actually going to come up, if anything. Temperature right now, 74 degrees, same for the heat index, and most of us are pretty much on par with that. Upper 60s to the lower and middle 70s right now. And in fact, Syracuse is over at 77 right now. That's one of the warmer spots. The radar for most of us is quiet. We do have a couple of showers making their way through Tompkins County, getting into portions of Cortland, may sneak into Chenango and Otsego counties before long. But again, other than that, it's quiet. That's the exception and not the rule. We do have some more showers and storms into northeastern Pennsylvania. Same thing goes for southern Ontario, back into Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois. And some of that may travel in our direction during the day tomorrow. and most of that is going to miss us, although there may be 1 or 2 showers or storms out there. Temperatures tonight between 65 and 70 thanks to a southerly wind. It'll be quite muggy, so you'll definitely want the fans or the AC on for sleeping weather. And if you are planning to have a pool day for tomorrow, the temperature definitely supports it, although just watch out for that shower and thunderstorm chance during the afternoon. The chance is only about 20%, but make sure you have multiple ways to get weather warnings should any be issued. Other than that, it's just hot and humid, with Sunday looking like the wetter and more active of the 2 weekend days. Temperatures for most of us tomorrow, either side of 90 degrees, but with the humidity on top of it, it could feel as warm as 95 to 100 degrees, and Sunday's not looking much better. Sunday could be between 90 and 95 as well. Let's run you through Futurecast first things first, and again, there could be an isolated or spotty shower during the overnight hours. Same thing tomorrow morning, and again during the afternoon. It looks like it could be a little bit overdone on this model, but you get the idea. Other than that, we'll have a lot of clouds. Same thing tomorrow night into Sunday morning, and while the race looks dry Sunday morning, we do have the possibility, in fact the likelihood, of some strong to severe thunderstorms during the afternoon. We're talking about after noon or 1 p.m., so after the race activities wrap up. Some of those could be on the strong to severe side, with wind, hail, and heavy rain being the main threats. And the heavy rain is thanks to the fact that there will be so much moisture in the air on Sunday, with that dew point between 70 and 75 degrees. And it's going to be that way for most of next week as well. It may come down a little bit, but still, you're definitely going to feel the mugginess as soon as you head out the door, with precipitation chances remaining low through most of the week until we get toward the end of it. Temperatures over the weekend, both days will be between 85 and 90 degrees. Although feeling warmer than that with the humidity. And then we'll still be in the 80s for most of next week, a couple of days making a run at 90, and it looks to get more active again toward the end of the week.
And Jordan, how is our Boilermaker Sunday morning forecast looking in terms of all the rain and the heat? What can the runners expect? So
it's going to be dry in terms of the fact that there won't be rain falling out of the sky, although it will be quite muggy with dew points in the 60s and 70s. The real field temperature will be between 75 and 80, so make sure to stay hydrated.
All right, well, let's think about something a little colder. Now that there's
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Friday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking a lot of weekend events, and of course that weekend forecast is important for those because many of those are outdoors. So let's take a live look right now at downtown Utica, where it is currently 72 degrees. That dew point is 67, and that's where it's been fluctuating for most of the last couple of days. And unfortunately, that's not going to go down anytime soon. In fact, it might come up over the next few days, as I'll show you in the next minute or two. Also doesn't help that we have a calm wind out there, so the air feels rather stagnant. Most of our area are into the 70s, and we do have a couple of upper 60s, both to the north and to the south in higher elevations. And in fact, it's still as warm as 76 degrees in both Syracuse and Seneca Falls. And we've got a couple of showers and even an embedded rumble of thunder or two down toward Cortland County, Broome County, making their way into Chenango and Otsego County over the next hour or two. But for most of us, it is going to remain dry. We'll still see a chance of a few pop-up storms during the day tomorrow, bubbling up in the heat and humidity of the day. Some of that's coming in from southern Ontario, and then some of it's also coming in from the area that you see around Chicago, southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois. As far as temperatures go, overnight tonight, not dropping much from where we are right now. That means we'll be in the range of 65 to 70. And planning your pool day for tomorrow, it's going to be hot and humid, so it's going to be an excellent day for it, with temperatures either side of 90 degrees, feeling like the 90s with the humidity. Just watch out for that isolated storm chance. Keep an eye to the sky during the afternoon. Temperatures tomorrow, as I just mentioned, either side of 90 degrees, but of course cooler to the north and down toward the south. But when you factor in the humidity, it'll definitely feel like the 80s up in elevations, and here in the Mohawk Valley, feeling like between 90 to as much as 95 or 100 degrees. So if you have anything planned outside tomorrow, just make sure to stay hydrated and then watch out for that possibility of a pop-up shower or storm during the afternoon, but the threat definitely looks much greater as we head into Sunday. Other than that, we'll see a few clouds and maybe a shower or two to start Sunday, but again, most of Sunday's morning is dry. Keep that in mind for those of you participating in the Boilermaker, and it looks like we could see a few strong to severe storms as we head through mainly Sunday afternoon. The main threat with that being heavy rain because of the fact that the dew point will be close to around 75 degrees, so pretty sticky, feeling pretty sweaty as we head through Sunday. Rain chances once we get beyond that remain low, but that changes as we head into the end of the week with temperatures either side of 90 both weekend days. We'll still be in the high 80s for both the Monday and Tuesday, getting close to 90 Wednesday and Thursday, and then of course the shower and thunderstorm chances picking up once again toward the end of next week.
So Jordan, what can the runners expect on Boilermaker Sunday as they head to those starting lines around 5:30 to 6 a.m.?
Yeah, it's actually going to be one of the warmest Boilermakers there has ever been. Temperatures themselves will be between 75 and about 80 degrees by that point, but with the humidity factor in, it'll feel closer to 85 degrees.
Well, make sure there are plenty of water stations on that course, so make sure that you're stopping and drinking plenty of water.